Welcome back to Big Briz TV, and on this episode we get into the Redcat Racing Piranha TR10. It's the box it comes in. Obviously this is going to be a pseudo unboxing because as you might know, I already unboxed it, so let's just get in there and get to it. You get the truck, or Truggy. You get the remote, the radio. It comes with 4 AA batteries, which are already installed. The Pisces maybe? I don't know. I'm not into astrology, but it's a fish, it's a piranha, so maybe they were going for that. Got the radio. You get the charger, the banana connector charger, and you get the booklet. So, they talk about the charger for nickel metal hydroxy cookies, and a little bit about the vehicle. Some of these Redcats come with a spec sheet for replacement parts and whatever. I didn't find one in here. Maybe it is inside. I'm not even gonna look, but let's get to it. So first thing I noticed, and I'll tell you if you get one of these, they caution you to first turn on the remote and then turn on the vehicle. Well, before that, they tell you to charge the battery and how to properly connect it. But if you're into RC, you know how to do all of that. So I'll tell you, I usually don't talk bad about products when I get them. They're all mine. I pay for them. So I bought this one before from Amazon. And when it came, I did all the steps that you're supposed to do. Charge the battery, put it in. Actually, I charged the battery, but I put a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in here that I had in this, the short course, the blackout. And I wanted to see if the uprate in power would make this thing wheelie or whatever, like when people put in 2S lipos or whatever. And it would go backward and forward, but it wouldn't turn. So I found out that it was a problem with the server, it was defective. I sent it back for a refund, and I ordered this from, I think, Horizon. So I got it. It came in, it works. And I thought it was something to do with that procedure that I just said about. I talked about a little bit with the remote and the radio in the car, but that wasn't the issue this time around. So it works. I ran it for a little bit, but what I found out about it is that it's really back heavy because, you know, it's a rear wheel drive, and this motor back here is pretty beefy, it's heavy. So everything's pretty much in the rear. So you get not much up front. And so it wants to wheelie, but I haven't gotten it to wheelie yet, but it moves pretty decently. The one thing about Redcats are, you know, a lot of the parts are interchangeable across their platform. So for instance, these tires, these wheels and tires are the exact same wheels and tires on the short course. And I presume other models that they have, same size, exact same tire, wheel and tire combo. So I really like this truck. I'll talk a little bit about it more, but later. But I thought that this could use some more Truggy-ish types of tires. So I showed in a previous video, I went on and got these. They're slightly smaller, but they should work well. I got a stagger set. So here are the fronts and rears. Fronts, rears. You can see the rears are obviously wider. And it's a basic tire. I think I got these sets for $10 on Amazon. And I did have to glue them. You might see a little bit of the glue shiny there on the edge of the tire, because they immediately would come off when I try to do any type of cornering or skidding like that. So I got those glued on with some Gorilla Glue. Thing about this is that when it comes, the wing is kind of flappy, the whole body's kind of loose. And on the wing, they give you these 2 spacers. The wing doesn't come installed, you have to install it. And they give you these 2 little spacers. I guess they come with the wing, so I guess they go under here like that, and you put that on and clip that in, and you should be good to go. So the vehicle runs, it's got some pep to it. The steering isn't as, you know, tight as some of my other Redcat vehicles, so you got to be really careful with this. It's not as, you know, angular. But anyway, and in order to shut this thing on, you have to remove the body in order to get to the power button. So I'll take off the body now, and there you have the power button here. It's enclosed in this little bit of rubberized plastic or whatever. So you would just turn on the remote. Instructions are right there on the side of the remote. Remote is on, and you turn on the car. You get that little song. Battery mounts right in the middle. So these wires don't come pressed in, but it has these little clips in here that you could just tuck these wires away. There's another one here, but I didn't bother to try to tuck that one in. And then what's nice about this is right in the middle here, you have these clips so that you could avoid this happening with the cables dangling. You could just get it in there like that, or maybe like this, you know, whatever, just to make it a little more neat. Comes with oil-filled shocks, and the one thing about the shocks that I found out is they don't rebound all the way. See? So I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna open them up and fill them up properly. I went out and got this stuff. Team Losi Racing shock oil. This is a 40 weight. I looked it up and it said that for between the short course, the buggies, truggies, and the on-road cars, drift cars, it goes anywhere from 35 weight to 45 weight, 30 weight to 50 weight. So I went right in the middle since I have all four of those, and I got the 40 weight. So this is 4 ounces. I've already done 8 shocks with this on both of my on-road cars, the drift ones. So you can see I still have a good amount left in there. And this stuff, you know, I mean, I haven't tasted it, but it looks like it's good. So I'm gonna go in, and some of you might know that, let's see, let's let this thing rip. It's got, and look at the motor. When I hit the brake, look at the shock action inside the motor. I mean, it runs pretty smoothly. So, and the shock dampening is pretty good, you know. It bounces a little in the rear, but that's where the weight is. So, some of you may have already known that I went out and I bought this body from J Concepts, and this is their finisher body, and I gave it this wacky paint job. And then yesterday I went out and did the wing to kind of complement it. And a funny story about this, I'll tell it in a moment. But let me get this body on, these wheels on, and I'll show you how it looks in a second. So through the magic of TV, I'm gonna take it from looking like this to this. Now that looks more like a Truggy slash buggy to me. Well, I guess Truggy, truck, buggy. But yeah, this is what I always envisioned. You know, you get a buggy, get the truck body. Now this body is a little bit, well, a lot of it shorter than the original body that it came with. And I like this truck body, but I don't know, this kind of reminds me of the movie Cars with these things look like, you know, and it looks like a face, you know, like eyes, eyebrows, whatever, with mask. Kind of looks like a face, you know, but this one does too in a way. But I like this look better. I always like the white wheels or the highlighter yellow green wheels. You know, I might get a set of those too. I was waiting to see how these would do, but I envision painting the body like this with the white in the front and then fading, then orange in the back. But then I decided to throw in the blue, New York Knicks or New York Mets style. I didn't even realize that when I was painting it. But yeah, when I was painting that wing, I assumed that it had a protective film on the top, just like the body. So I painted the top, And then when I went to pull off the film was on no, I painted the underside of the wing, and when I went to pull off the film, all the paint job came off. So I laid that to the side, and it was good because I kind of mitigated some of those runs that I had. You see, all the blue runs and everything from my poor tape job, probably because I was on top of the protective film. But now that's on the bottom, so the paint on the top looks a little bit more smooth. So I think that came out really well. I'm happy with it. So truck's still on, Truggy's still on. It's pretty quick. It doesn't sound like it, but it's pretty quick. So basically, I'm just gonna oil up those shocks, and I'm taking for a couple of runs and see how it does. And then when I break it, if you can see here, I already bent one of the tie rods. That one right there is bent. You can see the other one is straight. So I think I ran into one of the skylights when I took it up to the roof to run. I may take it up there in a minute and just give it a quick run so you can see. But with the short course truck, I really like that, and I'm gonna have to think of the model of the Traxxas, but I like the look of the Traxxas one. It looks more like a short course. Actually, the Traxxas one looks like a trophy truck. It looks more like a trophy truck, where you do the Baja 1000 or whatever it's called, and this is probably like a true short course truck. I was even thinking of putting that last light kit I had in here. I might still do it because sometimes I run this at night, so that'd be pretty cool. It does have lights, so I think I might even do that. But since these are for bashing, I'm gonna go in and maybe check the oil situation in these shocks too. But these are pretty stout. I mean, this truck is really nice. They made this. They have a brushless version of this model. And this is the brushed model, and it's pretty fast. I mean, and the way they laid out the body is really nice. I mean, the chassis, it's got the heat sink over the motor. I think this is the exact same motor, 540, as all the other ones that I have. But just the way they laid this out is real neat. It's a clean layout. This top brace, the tub, it just looks beefier. And the mud flaps are a nice touch. When I took this thing bashing, I kept getting this mud flap tucked in here behind the wheel. But I have a set of wheels. I envision this with more of a, short course type of wheel. I mean, these 6-spoke rims, they're nice, but I wanted something, with a little color. So I picked up some wheels. I think they're for rock crawling. I'm not sure, but these are 96 millimeter. And all of the short course wheels are 4.5 inches. I forgot, like from 110 to 120 millimeters. So that would be too big for this, and for the body. So there's some black wheels with a red trim. I forget how they look, but I know they're black and red. So I think that's gonna go really nice with this truck. So yeah. Like I said, leave my vehicles unplugged, and the antenna on this is really short, but it gets a good range. I mean, you could get a good 1,000 feet out of this. Still got some grass blades in here. So I like the fact that I could take these out. This one I'm gonna try to take out on the sand. I'm gonna go to the beach. This summer, I'm gonna take this one to the beach and see how it does on the sand. And I may eventually upgrade the motor to brushless for that one, for the Truggy. And you know, that motor is so accessible right there in the back. So, and then this whole gear train, the transmission is all metal gears except for the spur gear. I think that's what it's called. In here is plastic, but you know, these parts are readily available. I think what Redcat does, and I think it's really smart, is most of their parts are interchangeable between the lineup of vehicles, and so that makes for really good support in aftermarket parts as well as replacement parts, and they're not really overly expensive. So I mean, they do add up if you break a lot of stuff. And then they give you so many adjustments here. So I've seen some videos where people adjust these and what have you, but the steering on this isn't so bad. You know, I thought it was going to be real slow. One thing I noticed is when you go in reverse, it kind of wants to do the shopping cart wheel thing where these, you know, but I'm not going to try to run this on this table. I already put some marks on this table from the drift run when I did a couple of burnouts on top of the table with drift wheels. So I'm going to have to refinish this table again, but I shouldn't be using it for this. But anyway, that's my 110 scale RC Truggy by Redcat, the Piranha. I'm really liking it so far. I may put a quick video of me running it a little bit. And oh, it just gave me a, I guess that was a to wrap it up. So this is Big Briss TV. Thanks for coming back. In the next episode, I'm gonna try to do a wrap up with all 4 of these vehicles when they're completely done and just go through them real quickly. But if you haven't seen, I just uploaded a couple hours ago my Mark II VW Golf GTI video, trying to put a 190 millimeter body on a 200 millimeter chassis. There was some shenanigans that had to be done there, but I made it. I think I made it work. So I'll link that video in the description, and please feel free to like this video if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs up anyway. And consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any of the shenanigans. Everybody stay well. Big Briss out.